As we start chapter 9 on love and friendship, let's start by thinking about attraction and why do people find, some people attractive and not others. So initially, it seems like there are a number of different things going on, things like proximity, the people who are closest to you, people in your classes, people you work with, people from your hometown are much more likely to be people that you find attractive. And you're more likely to rate people as attractive if you see them frequently. So this issue of familiarity. And obviously physical attractiveness plays a role here too. In general, we perceive people that that we're dating as attractive, maybe a little bit more attractive than us. These are data from one of my other classes. So or most of whom are college students responding here. Across time, things like reciprocal liking, so if somebody likes you, you're more likely, if you believe somebody likes you, you're more likely to like them. And similarity play out. So here we're seeing some similarity, in terms of Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston. And we might question why Bill and Melinda Gates are together, or why Melania and Donald Trump are together. And one of the suggestions from your book is that there are other kinds of factors that also influence. So for example, power can be seen as, as something that increases attractiveness. If we believe that we are liked, we are more likely to report, liking that person, and fairly considerably. So, that influences that dynamic. Now, one of the hypotheses that your book discusses is the role of evolutionary factors that, from a man's perspective, they want someone who is going to be, to be able to produce lots of children. And from a woman's perspective, he will or she will want someone who is going to be able to support those children. So there are different kinds of dynamics playing out. So that means from a man's perspective, he's going to be more interested in uncommitted sex, having a greater number of sex partners over the lifetime, and look for youth and attractiveness in partners, so that if we're looking at Bill Gates and Donald Trump, they probably don't want partners their age if they are going, from this particular model, because they're going to be less likely to be able to have children. From a woman's perspective, there's going to be less interest in uncommitted sex, smaller or fewer sex partners over the lifetime, and that they will tend to look for income, status, and ambition in their partners. So this is from the same study with my college students, and they were asked, how important are each of these factors when you first meet someone of the opposites. Well, I don't remember if it was opposite sex, or someone that you would date. And, there are at least trends in the direction that you saw in the last figure. Probably the biggest difference is here in terms of height. On the other hand, if we're looking at a broader range of variables, both men and women are rating personality variables as much more important than more evolutionary variables. And we could probably drop humor down to the bottom there, that considerateness, honesty, dependability, kindness, and understanding all seem to be pretty highly rated. Now, I'm not sure that we've talked about this, but this is self-report. And one of the difficulties with self-report, and one of the things that you should be thinking about as you're reading survey research, is how honest are they likely to be in this kind of setting? Do they understand what variables really matter to them? And are they able and willing to report those well? That's one of the reasons why we're really interested in experimental research as well. So there are a number of things that people do in order to maintain relationships. Some of these are positive things like positivity, trying to act nice and cheerful, encouraging the other to disclose thoughts and feelings or openness, assuring the person by stressing their commitment to them, networking with them by doing things with their friends and family, and sharing tasks and spending time together and emailing or texting each other. However, some of these are also negative, like acting rude to each other. And we need to be aware that sometimes the things that people do in order to maintain relationships are perhaps maladaptive. We're going to continue by looking at love. Take care. Bye-bye.